Hello, everyone. It's Frank, and today we're tackling some critical questions for your California CDL Class A test. These are vital for understanding how to safely and legally operate a commercial motor vehicle in the Golden State. Let's get right into it. What is the primary purpose of a pre-trip inspection before operating a commercial motor vehicle for V? To identify and fix potential safety defects that could lead to a breakdown or accident. A thorough inspection is your first line of defense against on-road issues. All right, what's next? In California, what is the maximum legal blood alcohol concentration for a CDL holder operating a CMV? 0.04% or greater. California, like all states, has a lower BAC limit for commercial drivers due to increased responsibility. Moving on. Which set of factors most significantly impacts a CMV's total stopping distance? Driver perception and reaction time, plus brake lag and effective braking. All these components add up to your total stopping distance. So what's next? What is the required minimum tread depth for tires on the steering axle of a CMV? 432 inch. Adequate tread on steering tires is crucial for control and safety. Next on our list, when your vehicle's low air pressure warning light and buzzer activate, what does it signify? Air pressure has dropped below 60 psi or half of the compressor cutout pressure. This is a critical warning indicating you're losing air pressure and should stop safely. Okay, what's after this? What is the main benefit of an anti-lock braking system, ABS, on a commercial vehicle? It helps maintain steering control during hard braking by preventing wheel lockup. ABS allows you to steer around obstacles even during emergency braking. Let's move on. Which safety items are legally required to be carried in a commercial vehicle during operation? 3 reflective triangles, a properly charged fire extinguisher, and spare fuses if applicable. These items are essential for roadside emergencies. What about this next one? When driving a CMV, how far ahead should you visually scan the road to anticipate hazards? 12 to 15 seconds. This allows enough time to identify hazards and react safely. On to the next question. Beyond legal compliance, what is the most important reason for a CMV driver to wear a seatbelt? To minimize the risk of severe injury or fatality in the event of a collision. Seatbelts are your most vital safety device in any vehicle. Moving forward, what is hydroplaning and what is the best initial response if it occurs? When tires lose contact with a wet road, ease off the accelerator, depress the clutch, and steer straight. Avoid sudden braking or steering inputs to regain traction. Let's consider the next one. What is the primary function of slack adjusters in an air brake system? To manually or automatically compensate for brake lining wear, ensuring consistent brake application. They keep your brakes properly adjusted as the linings wear down. And the next point, if you are being tailgated by another vehicle, what is the safest defensive action to take? Increase your following distance to provide additional space ahead of your vehicle. This creates a buffer so you don't have to brake suddenly. What's next? What is the maximum acceptable amount of free play, movement without affecting steering in the steering wheel of a large commercial vehicle? More than 10 degrees or about 2 inches on a 20-inch wheel. Excessive play indicates a mechanical issue that must be addressed. Moving on to this. Why is correct weight distribution crucial when loading cargo into a CMV? It helps prevent vehicle instability, avoids exceeding axle weight limits, and ensures safe handling. Uneven loads can make a vehicle dangerous to drive. All right, let's see. What does brake fade signify when operating a CMV equipped with air brakes? The loss of braking effectiveness due to excessive heat buildup from frequent or prolonged brake application. This reduces your stopping power and can be very dangerous. What's after this? When coupling a combination vehicle, what is the first test you should perform after backing under the trailer and connecting the kingpin? Gently pull the tractor forward against the trailer's set brakes to confirm a secure coupling. This tug test confirms the fifth wheel is securely locked. Next question. What phenomenon is described as the crack the whip effect in combination vehicles? The violent outward swing of a rear trailer, especially the last one in doubles triples, during a quick lane change or sudden turn. This can cause the trailer to overturn. Let's get to this one. What is the safest strategy for controlling your speed on a long, steep downgrade with a heavy load? Select a low gear before starting the descent and use engine braking, supplementing with short, light applications of the service brakes. This saves your service brakes from overheating. Okay, what's next? What is the common term for a tractor driven without a trailer? And why is it more difficult to stop smoothly than a loaded combination? Bobtail. It has less weight over the drive wheels, resulting in reduced traction for braking. The lack of weight can cause the drive wheels to lock up easily. Moving on. What is the primary function of the air compressor governor in an air brake system? It regulates when the air compressor starts and stops pumping air into the storage tanks to maintain optimal pressure. This maintains the optimal air pressure range. So, what's next? How does the stopping distance of an empty combination vehicle typically compare to a loaded one? An empty combination vehicle generally takes longer to stop because it has less weight over the drive axles for effective braking traction. Less traction means it takes more distance to stop. Next on our list, what is the specific purpose of glad hands on combination vehicles? They are quick release couplings used to connect the service and emergency air lines between the tractor and the trailer. These allow air to flow to the trailer's brake system. Okay, what's after this? What is the primary function of baffles installed inside certain tank vehicles? To reduce the violent sloshing and surging movement of liquid cargo during acceleration, braking, and turning. Baffles improve vehicle stability by reducing liquid movement. Let's move on. What phenomenon known as off-tracking is characteristic of combination vehicles, particularly in turns? The rear wheels of a trailer following a shorter path than the front wheels of the tractor, requiring wider turns. You must account for this when making turns to avoid hitting curbs or other obstacles. What about this next one? If your vehicle's tires begin to lose traction on a slippery road, what is the correct immediate action? Ease off the accelerator, depress the clutch if applicable, and maintain a straight steering wheel. Gentle inputs help regain control. On to the next question. What is the minimum duration you must hold a California Commercial Learner's Permit, CLP, before being eligible to take the CDL skills test? 14 consecutive days. California requires this minimum holding period for your CLP. Moving forward, what does the presence of a dual air brake system typically imply about a commercial vehicle? It means the vehicle has two separate air brake systems, usually one controlling the front brakes and the other controlling the rear brakes for redundancy. This provides a backup if one system fails. Let's consider the next one. How do you correctly check for proper slack adjuster adjustment during a pre-trip inspection of an air brake system? Manually pull on each slack adjuster. If it moves more than 1 inch with brakes released, it needs adjustment. Proper adjustment is crucial for effective braking. And the next point, what is the most effective method for backing a commercial vehicle with a trailer? Back slowly, frequently using both mirrors, and making small, timely steering corrections, using pull-ups as needed. Slow and steady wins the race when backing. What's next? What is the primary danger of frequently using the trailer hand valve, trolley valve for routine braking while driving? It can cause the trailer wheels to lock up and skid, particularly on slippery surfaces, increasing the risk of a jackknife. The hand valve is for testing, not routine braking. Moving on to this. When driving in extremely hot weather, what specific tire-related issue should a CMV driver be most vigilant for? An increase in tire pressure due to heat, potentially leading to blowouts. Heat causes air to expand, raising tire pressure. All right, let's see. How do you correctly test the low air pressure warning signal in your vehicle's air brake system during a pre-trip? With the engine off, turn the electrical power on and pump the brake pedal until the warning light and buzzer activate, usually below 60 psi. This ensures the warning system is functioning. What's after this? When comparing CMVs to passenger cars, what is the most important difference regarding total stopping distance? CMVs require significantly greater, often double or more, total stopping distance than passenger cars. Always allow significantly more space to stop. Next question. What is the purpose of an alcohol evaporator in an air brake system if a vehicle is equipped with one? To inject alcohol into the air lines, helping to prevent ice from forming in the system during cold weather. This helps prevent freezing and ensures brake function in winter. Let's get to this one. What is the inherent danger of attempting to couple a tractor to a trailer on uneven or unlevel ground? It can place significant stress on the kingpin and fifth wheel, making proper engagement difficult and potentially causing damage or an insecure coupling. Always try to couple on level ground. Okay, what's next? Why is it critical for a commercial driver to check their mirrors frequently while driving? To constantly monitor traffic, identify blind spots, and be aware of other vehicles and hazards around the CMV. Situational awareness is critical for CMV drivers. Moving on. If the air compressor governor cuts out, stops pumping air, what does this indicate about the air tanks? The air tanks have reached their maximum operating pressure, cutout pressure, typically 120 to 140 psi. This means the system is functioning correctly to maintain pressure. So, what's next? What is the crucial step you must take after connecting the air lines and electrical cable when coupling a combination vehicle, but before raising the landing gear? Ensure the airlines are properly charged and then conduct a pull test and a brake test of the trailer. Confirming air supply and brake function is vital before moving. Next on our list, what is the primary purpose of engine braking, also known as Jake brakes or retarders in a CMV? To assist in slowing the vehicle and reducing reliance on the service brakes, particularly on downgrades. These systems save your service brakes from overheating. Okay, what's after this? What is the critical rule for preventing a combination vehicle from rolling away when parked uncoupled? Always place wheel chocks, especially if there is not equipped with spring brakes or if it is loaded. Chocks provide security against movement. Let's move on. When are you typically required to complete entry-level driver training ELDT for a CDL in California? If you are a new CDL applicant, upgrading your CDL or adding a hazmat, passenger, or school bus endorsement for the first time. ELDT is a federal mandate for new CDL training. What about this next one? What is the primary cause of air brake lag in a CMV's braking system? The inherent delay as compressed air travels through the lines to the brake chambers, allowing the brakes to apply. This delay means your brakes aren't instantaneous. On to the next question. During a coupling inspection, what should you verify regarding the kingpin and the fifth wheel? That the kingpin is not bent or cracked, and the fifth wheel locking jaws are fully closed and secured around it. A secure and undamaged coupling is non-negotiable. Moving forward, what is the maximum acceptable air leakage rate for a combination vehicle with the engine off, brakes off after the initial air loss during a static air brake test? Less than 3 psi per minute. Higher leakage rates indicate a problem that needs repair. Let's consider the next one. What is the most critical action to take if your vehicle's service brakes completely fail while driving? Downshift to a lower gear, pump the brake pedal, apply the parking brakes slowly and cautiously, and look for an escape ramp or safe stopping area. This emergency procedure is crucial for safety. And the next point. What is the specific purpose of the safety latch often found on the fifth wheel locking lever? To prevent the locking lever from accidentally opening, ensuring the kingpin remains securely engaged. It's a critical backup for coupling integrity. What's next? What is the safest general rule for determining a safe speed when approaching and driving through a curve with a combination vehicle? Reduce your speed to a safe level before entering the curve, then gently accelerate through it. Braking in a curve can lead to instability. Moving on to this. What is the primary function of the spring brakes, parking/emergency brakes in an air brake system? They engage automatically if air pressure drops too low, providing an emergency braking function, and also serve as the parking brake when air is released. Spring brakes are a vital safety feature. All right, let's see. During a pre-trip inspection, what should you ensure about the electrical connection between the tractor and trailer? It is securely mounted, free from damage, and has no exposed or frayed wires. A good electrical connection ensures lights and other systems work. What's after this? If your engine coolant temperature light illuminates or the gauge indicates overheating while driving, what is the immediate safe action? Pull over to a safe location as soon as possible, turn off the engine, and allow it to cool before checking coolant levels. Ignoring overheating can cause severe engine damage. Next question. When driving in strong crosswinds, why are combination vehicles, particularly those with light loads, especially vulnerable? They present a large side surface area that can be pushed sideways or even overturned by strong gusts of wind. They act like a sail in strong winds. Let's get to this one. If the cut in pressure for your air compressor governor is observed to be consistently too low, what could this imply about the system? The compressor may be starting too frequently, potentially leading to premature wear or inefficient pressure maintenance. This indicates a potential issue with the governor. Okay, what's next? When uncoupling a trailer after lowering the landing gear firmly onto the ground and ensuring the weight is off the fifth wheel, what is your crucial next step? Disconnect the airlines and the electrical cable from the tractor. This prepares the trailer for full separation. Moving on, what is the primary method to prevent a jackknife during braking in a tractor trailer? Avoiding locking the drive wheels of the tractor by applying smooth, controlled braking. If the drive wheels lock, the tractor can pivot, causing a jackknife. So, what's next? What is a common cause of bridge strike incidents involving CMVs? The driver failing to accurately know their vehicle's height and the posted clearance of bridges or overpasses. Always check your vehicle's height and posted clearances. And that wraps up our study session for the California CDL Class A test. Knowing this information thoroughly is crucial for passing your exam and becoming a safe, compliant commercial driver in California.